Today's guest built a brand from the ground up in the Canadian backcountry. Kelly Reaume, co-founder of Backcountry Skinz, started this with nothing more than an idea in his garage. They created something lighter, warmer, and more mobile than typical waders. That idea became the Z-Series Neoprene Leggings, now worn from Alberta to New Zealand. This is the Wet Fly Swing podcast, where I show you the best places to travel to for fly fishing, how to find the best resources and tools to prepare for that big trip, and what you can do to give back to the fish species we all love. Kelly Reaume is here from Backcountry Skinz. By the end of this episode, you're going to find out how Kelly and his brother doubled their business year after year, why anglers are swapping out waders for breathable neoprene pants, and what it feels like to watch major outdoor brands chase the product that they invented. We're also going to dig into some new designs like the Air Blitz pants, light lock socks, and everything else they have going. Let's find out what Kelly's been up to. Here we go. You can find him at backcountryskins.com. How you doing, Kelly?
Everything's good over here. How about you, Dave?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited to do a little update on Backcountry Skinz. In all transparency, I have worn your stuff, but, Megan, my wife, has been wearing it a lot more. And I got to say, she's totally loving it. So I don't have her here with me to do the total summary, but she's been wearing, your pants. I think this is kind of your flagship product, which are your neoprene full pants instead of waders. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk everything Backcountry Skinz today. We're going to get an update. It's been about 2 years since you guys have been on here. And I want to hear what's new, what's coming. But yeah, man, give us an update. Right now, it's kind of September as we're talking. This probably goes live in October. What's going on this time? You guys out fishing, traveling? What are you doing?
Yeah, we've been out doing a lot of both of those things you said. When the fall comes, it's when fishing usually picks up again. So for just been out filming, fishing, just staying super busy with the brand as well. So
yep, yeah. And to remind everybody where you're located.
We're based out of Calgary, Alberta, and up here in Canada, actually. So one of the things really going on right now too is with the brand that we've been currently dealing with is these tariffs.
Oh, right. Yeah. Has that been tough? I haven't kept up with all that.
Yeah, like either do I really until it kind of started.
Have to.
Yeah, I have to. But just being a Canadian brand, it's just been...
Has it been just terrible?
Yeah, it's just for us going across the border. So we've just been looking for... That's been keeping us busy recently.
Right. Yeah, it is a challenge, right? And I don't know the whole... I mean, basically, the big story is you're paying tariffs, right? Like taxes, more taxes to ship stuff across the border. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, before it wasn't really affecting us, but the new ones that just came in August 29th, it's basically every parcel going across the border, depending on the code of the product and the origin, basically is getting tariffed, which most of the consumers are getting the tariffs, and which is making surprise costs, right?
Oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, so people are going to the post office and they're going to pick up their package from Canada, and the post office is like, this is going to cost you an extra whatever. And so you got to pay it. Like I would have to pay it, right? To get that package.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've just been really busy the last couple of weeks, just trying to figure alternative plans, like shipping hubs in the States and Idaho and stuff like that. So yeah, that's been keeping us busy more than even fishing.
Yeah. Right. So that's what you have to do. You have to go out and basically create a U.S. where your products are in the U.S., right? So they could ship out from U.S. directly.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now, which I think is just beneficial because most of our sales are in the States.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's Canada is obviously a smaller country population-wise, so but there's really not a lot of difference. I always feel like I've got so many friends in Canada that I feel like we're the same. You know what I mean? The only difference is that we're different countries. But I feel like there's a lot more similarities than differences. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like for basically the same country, until maybe a little bit lately. But
right. Yeah, totally.
For sure.
Cool.
But
well, other than tariffs, maybe give us a rundown so people that haven't been keeping up, or maybe they're new to you guys. Talk about your main product and how you guys are kind of different than other things that are out there.
Yeah, so for people that don't know or haven't heard about it, for new listeners, basically we're Backcountry Skinz. We dedicated our brand to pain points in the wading industry, kind of bridging that gap in between dry pants and like your traditional wet wading gear and waders, basically. So we were like backcountry brothers. Two of us run it, and we were just always in the backcountry, and we felt that waders were just kind of too bulky and thick for a lot of putting on the miles, and traditional dry pants were kind of making us cold. Our legs were getting torn up and stuff, so we just decided to build and dedicate this brand during COVID to leggings, which is our flagship, our Z series or Air Blitz pants, which is a pair of neoprene breathable leggings that kind of bridge the gap, keep your legs warm, regulated in the water, and keeps you mobile, nimble. So that's kind of, we just dedicated our whole brand to that. And I think last time we were kind of just a startup since we talked, but now I think we're becoming a legitimate brand.
Yeah. What has that been like, going from a startup where when we talked a couple years ago, you guys were obviously a newer brand, and now what's the difference? How does it feel now where you're sitting compared to say 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's crazy. Ever since we started, you never really know. And when you're starting up and the risks you take, and there's so many like obstacles, and you learn as you go if you've never really done it. So it's, yeah, I would say that we've doubled every year since in revenue ever since we started this thing. And I guess it's just the market's responded like insanely. I guess people are really just kind of also think the same way we do with just, during spring to fall, wherein waders just start, doing it. So there's a nice alternative out there, a more affordable option that can get people through the, from spring to fall. So, but yeah, it's been crazy. We're going kind of like worldwide now. We have retailers, like we've accepted retailers in the States, New Zealand, UK, Germany, all around the world, basically. So it's just cool to watch it all kind of work as we work on it every day.
Yeah, definitely. Have you had any, because it seems like, you look at products that you'll have a new product that's doing well out there, and then all of a sudden there'll be somebody doing the same thing or kind of the copycat sort of thing. Has that happened out there, or are you guys kind of just doing your own thing?
Yeah, that's the cool thing, actually, that's kind of happening right now, actually, is we got a sales rep actually in the States, and he's been walking into certain retailers and with our product and saying that some of the other big brands, have seen prototypes and stuff like that. So we're just excited to actually hear that just two brothers in their garages basically just coming up with this innovative product, and now these big brands are having prototypes and even thinking about circling around it, which I think is just a great thing. It's kind of like I don't know.
Right. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing necessarily.
I think it'll make the market bigger, if anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're the originals, if it does happen. And just makes us excited and proud, kind of, that we kind of, awesome. Found this little gap or pain point in the industry, and it's helping people, and it's taking notice with some of the big brands, and people are just getting behind it. So I guess just two brothers, in their garage, just with designing apps and stuff, making this all come to life. And then hearing that from our sales rep from two other big brands, he's going into these retailers and they're like, oh yeah, they're getting those, or we've seen prototypes. So it's just like a whole David versus Goliath story, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit.
That's amazing. So that's a good way to look at it, though, right? I mean, that's an awesome way, because you're not worried about, I kind of feel the same way, like competition, or like you say, it's validating your idea. But you're not worried about somebody coming in and taking over and being like, okay, they're going to buy their product instead of yours, right? You're just thinking like there's enough room for everybody to come in with a similar product.
Oh, 100%. Like I like having a little the drama in the marketing and stuff like that, just to, add a little spice. But at the end of the day, if they do end up making it, and I think it, like I said, brings a bigger market to the whole concept. And yeah, it's just it's flattering, like I said. So if that does happen, which we are seeing some stuff, but yeah, like leggings have their place in the industry, clearly. So we're just going to keep plugging away.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I'm definitely a wet wader, for sure. I think, who isn't? If you're in the summertime, it's hot, 90 degrees, 100 degrees out. But I usually wear kind of the light, pants, right? That's the thing I have. But talk about that, the difference between the light pants versus, say, your neoprene. What is the biggest difference? Is it kind of warmth, protection? Why should I be wearing those, say, over those light kind of whatever, the whatever they call those pants?
Yeah, you basically said it. I just think first is the look in the industry. I think that it just takes time for people to, like, when they hop on the river, it's just been, dry pants and waders for so long. And someone shows up in Skins and they're just like, huh, you know what I mean? They're either like, this is cool. Like, what is that? Or they're like, that's, what is that? Like,
Right.
It's silly or whatever.
Yep.
So I think the look is the first thing that comes to mind. But as in like functionality, I would say that wearing a thin pair of neoprene leggings, such as our Air Blitz, which actually have perforated spots in like the buttocks and the crotch region, our newest pant that's breathable, it's going to give you protection that traditional wet wading gear won't give you, between bugs and shrubs.
Oh, right.
And then regulating your legs in the water, like if it's cold water, and even if you're getting a little too warm, if you just dip your legs in the water, you're just cool again. And then just having that mobility, like regular traditional, when we wore them, wet wading pants, like they're just, cold. They're a little bit flimsy, not as aerodynamic in the water when you're cutting through riverbanks or crossing the river. So,
right. How durable these are? If you run into some really like hard brambles, let's say some blackberries, do they stand up pretty well?
yeah, they hold up pretty good. And the sweet thing with neoprene is like we're gonna start selling these little patches and stuff like that too, because sometimes they do, puncture and stuff like that. Just like our Terex and their jackets, what I mean? Like they have that.
Yeah,
their patches they're doing and kind of making it trendy. The more patches you got.
Yeah, totally. And puncturing isn't that big of a deal for these, right? Because this is like a wetsuit, essentially the same thing. You want the water to kind of come in. Is that the idea?
Yeah, you got it. Like even if it is a hole, it's not really going to affect it. It's not like waders where your day's ruined and you're punctured and you're going to fill up your waders and you're going to have to go find a patch and then battle that. Like it's still regulated and your legs are still going. It's just giving you that extra protection, like definitely warmth.
Yeah. And how do you do the sizes when, and you got big guys, small guys, how does that work? Has that been a challenge for you? Like people buying these, say, that aren't the perfect, whatever that normal size is?
Yeah, that's the thing where we can continuously innovating in this sizing from the start. When we started up, we only had a budget, and now we're ranging into the double XLs, extra small. Like so now our ranges are becoming way better. Obviously, with leggings, they're a more tighter, snug fit. So that has been, I guess, a pain point for us in order to just keep getting the sizing right and perfecting it.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Nice. So, and then also the booties, that's the other thing. So I wear lots of booties. That's actually probably what I'm wearing more. I'm wearing just the shorts with the booties, and that works great. You're kind of just waiting. But again, it comes down to that. If you're, especially in your place where the water's super cold, it's probably going to be nice having the neoprenes on, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like some people don't even like wet wading. You know what I mean? They're like it's all depends on like basically your preference or what type of angler you are. If you're like more of a backcountry floating pack rafting angler, lots of guys even on drift boats and stuff wear skins, but or if you run hot or run cold, it all depends on really your preference. But for skins, if you're a backcountry guy and you love just put it on the miles on the banks, so I think it's the go-to. Your legs are always going to be warm, protected, regulated. So
that's it. And then you're not wearing the full waders, which in the summertime, even Gore-Tex waders, right? If it's super hot, is going to not be super comfortable out there, right? And that's interesting. I think it's kind of cool because I'm old enough to remember before Gore-Tex, when neoprene waders was what it was. You know what I mean? Like those the red balls. I remember back in the day, I think they were red balls, whatever they were. But everybody had neoprene waders, and they were tight, and they were super hot. Like definitely didn't wear those when it was in the summer, but they were nice too for the winter. In the wintertime, man, those neoprene waders, you floated well in them. They were warm. What is it about neoprene? Why did you guys? Is this the only material that you could kind of use for your product?
That's a good question. It just works, like just like the booties, like you said, even just with shorts, guys just like wearing them for that extra protection or warmth on your feet. It's just like your full legs covered, and we just keep innovating in like materials like airprene and stuff, and like yeah, like and making it cooler or even warmer. But it's funny that you even said that. Actually, guys wear them underneath their waders in the winter to get that extra like layer of warmth, like steel headers and stuff like that.
Oh, really? So people put these on underneath the Gore-Tex waders.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So that's
Yeah.
good to do. So you're not gonna. This isn't gonna be so hot that you're sweating. This is good to do for the winter. That could be, instead of putting another layer of fleece, you could do this.
Yeah, lots of people are doing it. I guess they were getting lots of reviews where they're saying they're with their buddies and they have their skins underneath their waders and they're staying in longer in the water. If your legs are planted, which steel headers and most people are in the winter for longer, they're like friends are getting out and they're like, oh yeah, we stayed in like an extra hour. So it's a pretty versatile product for sure.
Okay, there you go.
But
you go.
just like you said, the neoprene waders back in the day, I remember actually seeing those. It's
Yeah.
pretty rather than the Gore-Tex. But yeah, so
Yeah, that's good. Okay, and what about maybe what's, as you look ahead here, you guys got some momentum going. Are you thinking other products? What's what does it say in the next year or so? What are you guys going to be doing?
yeah, so we came out actually with a sock called the Liquid Lock sock, which is a neoprene waterproof sock that goes under or goes up to your knees, and it has a gasket on the inside. So when you actually put them underneath your skins, like your leggings, it actually does like a pretty good seal to kind of push our skins concept to skin diehards a little bit further into fall or earlier spring, which kind of makes a waterproof barrier for like quick water crossings coming in and out of the water. It's another innovative product that no one's actually selling right now in the industry. So it's just kind of like, getting that mobility still. So that was kind of one of our new products. And then we just came out with the Air Blitz pant, like I was just mentioning, which is, we actually started perforating the neoprene in like some of the warmer areas of the body. And then just for a tease, we were also, like I said, we're in the UV industry for like saltwater fishing, and leggings for years have always been, a huge pick from like sports brands. But now we dedicated a fishing brand towards it, which is obviously Skinz. But yeah, it's actually a UV pant that actually has perforations in the whole pant as well. So it's like you're just getting the sun protection, but you're just like, you're not even wearing leggings, like how it's going to feel on your legs. Yeah. Like we're super excited to get this material to the public and kind of just like, get that sun protection. Cause you want to make it as light as possible when you're out there on the salt. It's not really about protection, more or less. It's more about just completely protecting your legs from the sun. So we got a new innovative material coming out, hopefully here in the next couple months.
This year, I ventured into the heart of eastern Idaho's Yellowstone Teton territory, where the fish were larger than life and the waters held the secrets of the best fly fishing out west. With crystal clear rivers like the Henry's Fork and the South Fork of the Snake, and enough lakes to keep you going all year long, make your way to Yellowstone Teton territory and embark on a journey to one of North America's finest fly fishing destinations. It's time to experience Eastern Idaho for yourself and support this podcast at the same time. Discover Smitty's Fly Box for premium flies. Their monthly subscription service delivers expertly crafted flies and materials tailored to your fishing environment. Boasting over 30 years of experience, Smitty's is your trusted source for a diverse range of flies. Enhance your fishing experience and make life easier with their carefully created selections. You can subscribe right now at smittysflybox.com and join a community of passionate anglers. And what is the millimeter, the thickness of your typical Backcountry Skinz leggings?
Yeah, they're 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah, millimeter. But when we first actually came out with the concept, our original one was 2 millimeter, but we thought it was a little too hot. But a lot of people, we got reviews like, oh, you guys axed the 2 millimeter. Like, we love that, having that extra, thickness and warmth. So yeah, I just think that, yeah, we might come back out with them or like do a couple different thicknesses just to tailor to the whole thing. So, or to everyone who's like, runs colder or just loves wearing them. Like, we've seen guys in the winter wearing they're like, dude, I'm still wearing these, like even getting a little wet. I'm like, this is crazy, but
yeah, no, that's it. God, that's great. And then the ones for more of the saltwater, are those even thinner than the 1.5?
Yeah, they're not even neoprene. It's just complete. It's completely polyester or like,
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? And
Yeah.
spandex.
It's spandex, right? Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a mixture, a blend between both. And then now we have these little, like, it's not see-through completely, but it's just these little micro holes on the UV material that is like insane. Barely feels like you're wearing, like you can feel the wind on your legs, but your sun's getting protected. Like it's never been, I don't even think I've even seen it done with other like sport brands.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, totally.
we're
Wow.
we're excited about that one coming out here.
That's it. Okay, yeah, and the 1.5 millimeter, I remember going back again to the waders. They had two main that I remember. The waders they had the 3 millimeter and then the 5s, and the 3 millimeters were pretty thin. They felt pretty good. You went up to the 5s, you were like putting on a thick pair of like super duper winter, right? So that's a lot, right? The 1 millimeter is quite a bit difference.
Oh yeah, the 1 millimeter. I think if you were like what you said, wearing 5 millimeter, your legs would be getting a quadricep workout every day.
Yeah, they were
lugging through the forest.
They were extreme. I'm trying. God, I wish I could remember the name of the brand. It was I don't even think they're around anymore. But anyway, so okay, so that's a good rundown on the gear. We'll probably talk more as we go about this. I wanted to also get an update on, you know, kind of where you're at the fishing. I think you're in obviously a super popular area for fishing, you know, Calgary and all that. Talk about that a little bit. Do you get around, do you fish all over your province up there in Alberta, or, you know, how does that look? Or do you stick closer to home typically?
Yeah, I actually moved from Calgary into a town called Invermere, BC. So I actually live in BC. My brother's still.
Oh, you're in BC. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in BC now. It's just always been a dream of mine, and it's just easier for marketing and videos and just generally fishing.
Yeah,
just,
right.
like Alberta's good and has its prizes, but BC is definitely just a whole different, you know, beast. So
Right. So BC has it's not just, I mean, Calgary's kind of known. What is the big difference? Because Calgary has some good fishing too, right? It's got the Bow River, it's got all that. But what is the big difference in Alberta versus BC?
yeah, like BC or like they're so unique in their own ways. Like you said, the Bow River is like a huge world-renowned blue ribbon fishery. But, you know, Banff is huge for a backcountry angler, alpine lakes, cutty fishing, bull trail rivers as well. Like if you get into Banff or Jasper National Park, those are just beautiful places that are kind of hidden gems that you won't see. You'll be the only one out there on the water. But BC is kind of more like, I don't know, the fish are more plentiful, more enriched land. It's the same. Like you're going to be most likely probably the only person, if you go a little far enough or do a little extra hiking or whatnot, you're going to be the only one out there. And the thing about Alberta is the Rockies, like, are just, you can't replace them in Banff and Jasper. Like the ambiance of like the mountains and the blue water, like the Rockies, like BC has their mountains, but it's kind of more like grass, you know, greener, little smaller mountains than where I go fishing. Still wild, super wild. Like the rivers are bigger, faster, more fish. But the Rockies for Alberta, I would say that's a huge pro for the scenery when you're looking around, is like just nothing even compares to it. But BC, I just bought a jet boat actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're going. So now, what's the name of the town again you're at?
It's in Invermere, in the Columbia Valley.
How do you spell that?
INVERMER.
Oh yeah, in Invermere, BC. Okay, got it. Oh yeah, so you're not far from Alberta. You're just across on the other side of the Rockies.
Yeah, I'm just across, just in the Columbia Valley, which is actually in the headwaters of the Columbia Lake.
Oh, you're in the headwaters of the Columbia River, which is this is pretty sweet. Again, it's funny because we're so far away, not really that far, because I literally drive up this. I see the Columbia every day. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like
that's so cool. It goes right in the ocean near you, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I could drive north right now about an hour, and I would see it flowing into the ocean.
Yeah, like I guess back I was reading, like going down these rabbit holes in the history before the dams were made, and I guess the salmon would come all the way up to Invermere, like in the headwaters. Like that is so cool, like crazy.
That's one of the big bummers of the Columbia, you know, because it's got all these giant dams, which are good for hydroelectric, a lot of other things. But yeah, there's one there. I can't remember it's the big one that just blocked everything. There's no fish ladder.
The Mika Dam, I think.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically no steelhead, no salmon. But you still have lots of range for, I guess, probably a lot of those rainbows and fish that were steelhead now are just big, giant rainbows growing in the Columbia, right? And those, talk about that. What's your fishing when you think about where you are now in this place? Have you explored everything, or what's getting you excited about that area?
I'm excited. Like, I got this little inflatable jet boat, and I just got here in March. So there's just so much to explore. I'm just started kind of getting my feet wet, like with the Columbia River system, and obviously the Kootenay runs parallel with it, but I don't think it actually attaches, which is another just great fishery. Mostly, I'm chasing, like I said, always char, like bull trout.
You are.
Yeah, like there's kokanee salmon, big rainbows up here, like big cutties, lots of tons of alpine lakes that have lots of history with great fishing. And I'm just looking to get my feet wet this fall when the bull trout come down, which I think is actually early because it's been rainy, super rainy here. So I think they went up early, but this fall is always the most exciting time. When the kokanee start going up and the bulls are done their spawn and they're coming down, it's just like they meet for this great clash of eating them, and then you get some red streamers out, pull them out, get the jet boat, go up some of these tributaries like 5-10K, and it's just like every cast you're getting massive bull trout. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Oh wow. Yeah. So what's going on? So tell us a bit again about the bull trout life history. So they're right now as we speak, it's September. So when are they spawning?
So September is when so basically I'll give you the rundown so people know when they're chasing them, because you get so many, we also get tons of questions with them about bull trout. People are just getting more and more interested with them. But basically in the spring, right when runoff's over, they run up, start making their big journey in all the tributaries, the migratory ones. Obviously, there's residential bull trout that just live in the rivers until they're big enough or whatever. But the bulls just start, staging in at the mouths of these tributaries in June around, and then they start, making their journey up. And we try and fish for them too. If you can time it right, it's just really good. Like you're going to see, and they're really predatorial, and they're taking big streamers early spring. And then there's that from June to end of August, they're working their way in those tributaries, which you can chase them everywhere in those tribs, which is super fun. They're separated, but they're paired up, kind of like working their way up. And then everything kind of closes in September 1st, which is good for their spawn. And then they spawn for basically the month. And then usually around the end of September to October, they start, once they're done and the water level's lower, they start working their way back down to the main watersheds and the lakes. Which is just, like I said, the kokanee are going up in stacks, and it's just they're just feeding on them like crazy, and they're pretty big. These bulls are, they're huge, and they're coming at your feet and just inhaling streamers. So it's just it's a great thing. A lot of people, I don't think, chase them or know about them, but it's kind of like a whole little lifestyle backcountry thing, probably similar to steelhead. A lot of it, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, similar to steelhead, right? Because the steelhead are spawning, or the spawn timing is different, spring versus fall.
Yeah,
but they're doing the same thing, and there's a mix of resident fish that don't go out. But the cool thing is the streamers. I think that steelhead aren't really known when they come up as eating, lots of fish. They're kind of hanging, but bull trout are feeding all the time. They're trying to get big. They don't stop eating, really.
Yeah, steelhead, the pattern kind of going up in the tributaries, the whole ambience of the mountains, and it's kind of probably a similar feel. But yeah, when nothing compares to this big mountain char that just inhales these big streamers at 12 inches at your feet, that we tie, and it's just it's so that's why I'm obsessed with them. It's just and they're only out here, It's kind of probably taming back in Russia or something.
Oh, they're only out, so you can only find these migratory big fish in this range.
Well, from us probably or from you to us, I think.
Yeah,
right?
That's the range. Yeah, there's not, and really down here, there's not. I think they've been pretty hammered by environmental degradation. You know what I mean? They're kind of because lots of people I think a lot of people think of bull trout in the history. This is just one of the sad stories, is they kill the other fish that people like to eat, right? They kill the salmon. So all right, let's kill this bull trout. And then it's such a tough one, right? Because now we're struggling. And so I'm not sure how far you have to go up to really find really healthy populations, probably in Washington somewhere, or more remote areas, I'm sure.
Yeah, like you said, I hear that story. It's insane to me. Like people just would catch them because like a lot of trophy fishing just for generations is just, they want that dry fly take or cutties and because it's just the bee's knees, right? Like the dry fly cutties and the colorful things. And then they would just catch them and throw them on the bank. It's just this is back in the day. But now like they're becoming protected. Like they're so plentiful here. You can even keep one like legally.
Oh,
But,
wow.
like, yeah, like it's like salmon out here, basically. I think that's when the population probably still is pretty good. But I definitely know that they're protected in Montana and Oregon. Like you can't even target them at all. Even same in Alberta, like some
Oh,
places
you can't. Okay.
they're just minimal. But when you get into BC, it's such wild and big waters. The whole thing's still in full action. So, but they're rebounding, which is awesome. Like handling them is such a important thing. Like putting them back, keeping them in the water. Having the right rod to make sure that you're not fighting them too long and everything like that. So.
What is the if somebody was thinking about heading up there, where do they start as far as the fishing? I guess you're kind of in a new area, but are these mostly finding them around lakes higher up, or where would somebody start there?
Yeah, like I said, like it all depends. The timing's everything with bull trout, which makes it fun. Like it makes it like you just gotta go like searching where's Waldo kind of,
Right.
Which is awesome. Like it keeps you interested and always
Totally.
mapping.
Yep.
Like, okay, where like the water levels are this. Like I think they're gonna be here,
Oh,
they're gonna be
yeah.
in the midsections. But you can chase them basically from, the start of spring in the lakes all the way, and then as the season goes on, just keep following them up the rivers. But there's some guides in Fernie.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, there's some guiding companies that are
Okay.
like on Inferni and in Golden,
Yep.
that you can contact
Okay.
to actually go experience the whole thing. So
Yeah, that'd be a good place to start. What is it for you guys? So are you trying to tie just the biggest stuff you can to see what you can catch them on, or talk about your patterns you're tying there?
yeah, that's basically bull trout. I just call them like a mountain pike. Like they just take the biggest streamers, and we just tie like big dollies and sex dungeons, just as big as you can get them. Like a lot of them in the stores, they're still good. Like streamers you can buy, but the bigger you make them, it's more about profile than actual colors or anything like that. But yeah, I would just say it's more about profile. The biggest, if you like, we even use pike streamers sometimes if we don't have time to tie. So,
Right.
or even tarpon ones. I've caught one earlier this season. I had a tarpon fly in my pocket from a trip, and I used it and it worked.
Wow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just the big, whatever you want to throw on there. What is the typical rod you're fishing, and how big, or what's the size on the fish?
Yeah, definitely. Like that's important. I think a 7 weight to even a 10 weight. Some of these bulls will bring you like they'll fight them for like if you don't have the right equipment in a long time because they're strong. So yeah, I would say a 7 to a 10 weight probably would be the
7 to
best.
10. And how big do
Yeah.
the fish roughly get? What
Average out here is like 30 inches.
Oh, really? You're averaging a 30-inch. So these are like,
Yeah.
you're talking 10-pound range or somewhere in there.
Yeah, 10-pound range. Yeah, everyone says it different. They're like inches,
right.
centimeters, pounds, right? Depending where you are. For us, we always.
I always think with steelhead, 30 inches roughly is going to be a 10-pound fish. So
Yeah,
if
you
it's
got it.
If it's above that, then you're really. So do you find like, what's the biggest bull trout? I don't even know what the record is or what you've heard of out there.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 40 inches.
Yeah, 40.
I've caught a 30. I've caught a 30. I think it was a 36-inch is my biggest bull trout, and it was like scary when it came to my
Right.
feet and I saw it. I'm like, that thing, like,
Would it have like a big fat, like girthy stomach?
oh yeah, just stomach and jaw, and like on the, you're like, this thing is the king down here for sure. Like, I would not
Right.
want to meet this bull trout underwater if I was a cutty for sure.
No. No, cool. Wow. So you got the bull trout going, and what else when you look at the lake you're near? Is it Columbia Lake? Is that the lake?
Yeah, Columbia Lake, and then the Columbia River system, obviously we talked about, and then the Kootenai River.
And the Kootenai, yeah.
Yeah, the Kootenai's huge too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, Kootenai is huge. So
I'm kind of right smack in the middle of it
Yeah.
now. So I always came out here anyways, but just to be here to like, this is my starting point now to start exploring. And it's just huge for the brand for like marketing and then making,
Oh, yeah.
I can just walk out my door if we get some new products and grab, my brother, and we can go out and
Go for it.
film. Yeah, like go talk about what we're doing.
Yeah. Are you guys filming? Are you doing do you have all the video equipment, or how does that look?
Yeah. We do it all, man. It's just my brother and I so far. Obviously, we have, like I said, some sales reps, and we have some guys that help us with our website and stuff. But overall, it's just my brother and I, and we're just getting creative, not only with the gear, but with our marketing that's unique, we feel, in the industry, trying to get younger guys into fly fishing and grow the sport if they're cool, catch their eyes if they're like, watching videos, or if it's YouTube or social media, to try and, throw some spice at it.
When it comes to premium flies that deliver results, drifthook.com is the name to trust this season. Whether you're chasing trout with dry flies, swinging streamers, or dialing in those Euro nymphs, they've got everything you need. Here's a quick story. I was fishing a tricky spring creek earlier this year and nothing was working. Then I pulled out a Royal Wolf from the Drifthook box. I cast upstream, letting it drift effortlessly toward a holding fish. It was textbook. One of the biggest fish in the run rose, sipped the fly, and the fight was on. That's definitely a moment I'll never forget. Their fly kits ship free straight to your door, fully stocked and ready for action. You can support a great small business right now in this podcast by heading over to drifthook.com today. That's Drifthook, DRIFTHOOK. Use the code SWING at checkout to get 15% off your first order. What's been that's always, it can be a struggle. What's been stuff that's been working well on the marketing end for you guys, or how have you guys been finding the younger crowd?
Yeah, I think just more kids these days are so, like, even everyone's just so addicted to their phone and so, stimulated. So I guess, like, just trying to make some quicker edits so they get the information in there as quick as possible is a good key tool, I think. But, but also long form content is huge. But just kind of like like with leggings, it kind of makes it like fishing's, like, it makes it like a kind of more stylish and more like an active angler, adventure look. That's what we're going for, like adventure angler, putting on the miles. It's not just going down, from your truck, walking to there, with a big pair of khakis on, or big
with the tweed hat and all smoking jacket,
like smoking a cigar and listen to some old, Johnny Cash, which is all cool. I respect all that too. You know what I mean? Like that's our roots. You know what I mean? But it's just, everything always innovative and stuff. So just a whole different act of, backcountry, deep in it, putting on the miles. It's a good workout, getting lost, taking a break from, we use the platforms to get the information out, but it's to get outside and start making your own adventures and putting the miles on. And you don't need that much money if if you're an angler from spring to fall. If you're get a pair of skins, it's going to get you through, you're going to be thick and warm and protected. So it's like, just kind of whole selling it that way, like the active angler backcountry. And that's unique. I think, that's most people, which we still try to target is just drift boats, drift boat, that market, but we want to grow the industry and just make it a whole new, get out. Like there's more to explore out there. There's more fish if you don't go, which we do market too, because these are great. Like drift boat guys live by our stuff, obviously too, like getting in and out of the water and guides, but yeah, just a different spin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see both. I'm right in the middle of both because I have a drift boat and. I could see I wear the pants a lot of the time. So having the leggings, would be the same sort of thing, but probably warmer. And then, but also the adventure stuff is cool because backcountry, just camping, hiking, backpacking. Is that part of your, you've got the fishing. Have you guys looked at that? Like just the whole industry of outdoor, people that aren't even fly fishing that might be using these things?
Yeah. Like right now we're just here to like really make noise, right, in the fishing industry. Like we're not going away, we're here, like we're gonna keep innovating, like we're gonna keep at this, and it's catching, and we're seeing the results. And just we wanted to really dummy the market there and really make some noise in the fishing industry. But we do with our products, like our waterproof socks, our regular merino wool ones, and we can really transfer into other markets once we kind of feel like we've really solidified ourselves in the fly fishing or fishing industry. We also look into like the bass markets, like, other brands are, into spin casters and stuff. You can wear that stuff on the front, or like, for, that kind of market as well. So just keep expanding, because the fly fishing market really in the main scheme of things is actually pretty small compared to a lot of other markets. But yeah, some of our stuff, when we keep innovating, Backcountry Skinz and waterproof socks, we definitely have down the road, hopefully if we get big enough, are going to look into like hiking socks and really marketing and making a whole new kind of
thing
outlook there. That's always in our mind for sure.
Yeah. There's all those sectors. I don't even know, maybe even like hunting, right? You might even all these things, there might be a chance. Well, what about you're out there, and I haven't done this in a while, mainly because I have the boat, but like the float tube, you're doing the backcountry. I remember back in the day, that was always the thing. You go into a lake, you backpack in, you're going to be there for a day or two, and you got all this gear, waders, boots. Could you put the Backcountry Skinz on in a float tube? Would your legs be warm enough if you're underwater?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, that's a whole other concept, like, or like what I'm talking about is like more and more people are going into a lot of these alpine lakes, and like with pack rafts, that's what we use. We use like these small pack rafts, and we put these big packs on, and that's what Skinz is about. Like, so when you get out there floating, and like, it's really hard if you're going to hike in waders or if you're going to freeze and, like the weather turns and regular traditional wet wading gear. But with a neoprene leggings, even if you roll them in your pack and it's a little hot hiking up to a lot of these spots, but once you put them on a floaty, like, like a fish cat, or like, you're regulated, your legs, and you feel safer. You feel safe. Yeah, so lots of guys are, like I said, hiking in and wearing them in their boats. Lots of people are sending them in with their flippers on, and just saying basically like, dude, these are awesome. We're never wearing waders again, is a lot of the feedback we're getting.
So they are working. So they are good. So float tube, having your legs in the water.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
okay, so that's huge. Yeah, because that saves you tons of weight. You got these lights, so you don't carry your waders in, and you probably don't need boots, so you just have your flippers if you're doing the float. And that's kind of what I'm thinking would be kind of cool, is to have that. Then you got your packable rod. You're just doing it ultra light, right? And then you got your pack. Well, what do you guys got? So are you doing that quite a bit? Do you guys have your big packs? Are you hiking in, camping, or is this more like day stuff that you guys do or have done?
Oh yeah. You got it, man. That's kind of where the whole concept was born. Like, we just love getting out in the backcountry, trying to find, cutthroat trout or, whatever it is in these alpine lakes. And packs are so important with weight. It comes down to like the ounce. So like,
right.
You know what I mean? So like, huge things you got to always have when you're going into the backcountry, or like, like freeze dried food, a water filtration device. And we do camp in them, like little packable tent, inflatable mattress, inflatable pillow. They think that the gear is getting so light now. It's awesome. But definitely having Backcountry Skinz rolled up in your bag, you feel like extra piece of confidence for sure.
For sure. Yeah, that's great. What is you mentioned the boat. What's the boat you guys use for those? You're not using float tubes, you're using something else? Yeah,
we used to use like those traditional fish cats, but now they just coming out with like, there's a Kokopelli raft that I use. It's
Kokopelli.
Yeah, Kokopelli is pretty good. I think NRS has a couple ones that my friends use that are like just getting really good. They even have like fish holders on them and stuff. But you can pack these things light, and you can get into some places where we're used to just, it's really hard when you get up there and you can't have no back cast with the trees behind you or whatever it is. But now you can just throw this little floaty in, and you just everything, the world's your oyster up there.
Right. Yeah. Those Kokopellis, how much do those things weigh if you get the lighter one?
I can't remember. I think mine's like a pound.
Oh, wow. A pound of that light.
Yeah, like a pound or two. But some of the ones my friends have are a little bit heavier. They like to have a little more thickness.
Sure, a little thickness.
They'll lug them in. Like, we still make it work. You got enough water,
Yeah.
So
do you blow them up? Do you have a little pump, or what does it come with?
Yeah, like they actually come with just like a little, like, you can use like an inflatable bag that has like, the roll up that's like the lightest way if you want to use those. I personally bought a little one on Amazon, like a little electric hand pump, but it's also good to like not just have that. You want to have something you can always blow in,
sure.
in case your battery dies or whatever. But there's all sorts of devices out there now.
Wow, these are cool. I love the product. Do you love, I mean, you guys are building a product. I've done some product stuff in the past, and I'm not obviously I'm kind of working with brands now, but do you love seeing, like, because the Kokopo, when I look at that thing, I'm like, this thing looks like, I've heard about it. People love it. It looks so unique. Do you really get excited when you see these other brands and some of these other cool products?
Oh yeah, like they're just getting more and more tailored, like and more advanced and more lighter, just for like people when you're getting out there, or even like just safety gear, as well. Like like now you can text on satellite, which you're definitely out there to like to be find solitude and get away from all that. But at the same time, like you can like I think on your iPhone now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on satellite, like you're
you can text with without just a normal plan, your normal like AT&T, you can text.
Yeah, like just you find a satellite like on your phone, and like you find it in the sky and you click it, and then if you're like, hey wifey, like I'm safe out here, another night's done. It's pretty crazy.
Oh wow. I didn't know about that. No kidding. So now you can literally, because there obviously is the Elon's, right, the Starlink, which is crazy. I mean, Starlink, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you could just full on, that you got to have your satellite dish and sort of stuff. But what you're saying is literally the phones now are getting the tech, so like everybody has it.
Yeah, like, well, I don't know what new iPhones it is or what ones it is, but now they're coming. Like mine, the newest one has like this option where I just click a satellite, find it in the air, and then I can like send like, hey, I didn't get eaten by a bear tonight.
Yeah,
bear honey. You know what I mean?
That's a good tip, man. This is that's a nice nugget. I didn't know about. So.
Yeah, like safety gear, Garmin's, like everything is just kind of getting. Even Skinz is part of the innovative, like making you lighter and more protected and unique thing. Just like other brands, I get so excited when I see like, oh man, they're making that, or
right,
and it gets my mind going. I'm like, this still needs this. Maybe we should start another brand with it.
Right? Yeah, you probably get that, right? You're
like my mind's going
the shiny object thing. Yeah, you gotta stay focused for.
I'm like, all right. Can I branch? Do I have time to like, there's like, because there's not one actually dedicated to like kind of what we do yet, like completely, but like the things that I would add to it. But
right, you gotta stay focused. Yeah, you gotta stay focused. Yeah, I'm looking at the Kokopo now. They got their 2-person raft, and literally it's folds down to the size of it's like twice as long as a Nalgene bottle. That's how small it gets. Wow.
Guys are even a couple of our locals or friends I see online are like they're getting the inflatable drift boats, and then they're getting helicoptered into the headwaters like steel headers, and like helicoptered, like they break it down, right? Because you can actually carry some weight.
Now, which boats are these? Are these the inflatable drift boat? Who's making this?
Flycraft, I think, or something.
Oh, Flycraft is making a drift boat now.
Yeah, there's tons actually out there now.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Their inflatable drift boats are kind of like taking over, like guys are getting out there inflating them in their back of their trucks, and like they're 3-seaters and stuff, and they're like hellying them in, right? Because you can carry some weight in helicopters, and they're like going to the headwaters, getting dropped off, blowing them up.
Oh yeah,
they're just ripping the whole thing. So it's pretty crazy, man. It's getting wild out there. But.
Totally. And I'm looking at it now. I'm trying to look at the drift boat. I still don't see, because the one I think of it with the drift boat is the the company that did one was NRS. They made like a full. It looked just like right. Yeah. It looked just like a drift boat, but I don't think they make them anymore. But Flycraft is one, and I don't see the drift boat style. Maybe it's similar.
Oh, you don't? Okay,
no.
Maybe it's a different. I don't know
But again, it might be a language thing. They might be calling their raft or more of a different raft, a drift boat style or whatever. But
yeah, like I just use the pack-raft, but I definitely seen my friends. I don't know what names they are, but I definitely have seen online. These guys are inflating them up, and I don't know if Watermaster out of Cairn. I don't know what one it is.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of. I think it's more a design thing. If you call it a drift boat, maybe it doesn't look exactly like it, but it's still essentially a inflatable boat, right? That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, which is crazy, like the inflatable stuff they're coming out with now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, cool. Well, let's take this moment. This is a good chance that we're talking gear. I mean, obviously we've been talking gear the whole time, but this is going to be our gear segment. We'll start to take it out of here. And I wanted to highlight Patagonia because they're a partner of ours this year and a company I love. And again, this is perfect because they have the Swift Current waders, which is something that, I think is a great wader, is the one I've been wearing lately. They've got some cool features. I think they're different than other ones out there as well. So I want to give a shout out to Patagonia today as we talk about this. What about you? We're talking about gear. Who are some of those other brands out there that you're kind of looking up to and saying, wow, they're doing some great stuff out there?
Yeah, like I think every brand is awesome in their own way and have their own storyline and gear, and we're just trying to carve our own unique, path, just like those brands I'm sure did at the start. You
Yeah,
know
they
what I
did.
mean?
Well, and that's where
Like they just started with like, just one little like this is one of those stories right now that's kind of
right. You're like the Patagonia Yvon Chouinard, he started with whatever, the pitons or, where they're pounding
yeah,
it, right?
I actually read his book. It's
Yeah, yeah.
pretty.
Let my people go surfing.
Yeah. I read
Yeah.
that audiobook these I always just love hearing other entrepreneurs' stories. They're like so inspiring, how they started, and it's just like the smallest little, just a conversation, and that's kind of like with us too. Like we're just like during COVID with a wedding fund, and just basically, you know what I
Is
mean?
that how it started? Remind us again. Is that how it started in COVID? You guys came up, how did that idea come to you guys?
Yeah, like we just were bored and then probably out of work at the time, and my brother had some money, and we're just like, dude, like guys are wearing leggings like in New Zealand and on the water, like let's dedicate a brand to this, and what materials exactly can we, perfect to do this? And like you you have so much confidence behind it, but you never really know because it really is up to the people to decide. But that's kind of how it all came together.
That's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, when we had Yvon Chouinard on, I asked him, we were talking about, his success. And he just said, basically, he's done the opposite of every other business in his whole career. And it's always worked. Every time he's done the opposite.
You want to know what? That's the most like the thing that I can recommend if anyone's like, going to start something. It's about uniqueness. That's what it is. Like we are completely unique in our own category right now.
Yeah.
It might change here, but uniqueness or finding pain points is like the number one thing. Being different. Most people think because, we need to get an industry, we have to follow these brands. This is the guidelines. This is the guidelines. This is the rules. There is no rules.
No.
There's no rules. You think that when you start up, like, you need this patent or this or that. You know what I mean? Like it really is like just a vision. And if it's helping people in some way, then people are going to get behind it. You know what I mean? And that's what I think we're doing. We're helping people. If you don't have a lot of money, you can get a pair of skins. If you're an active angler or a hardcore backcountry guy, these are going to help you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where, other brand, I'm always on the industry, like what you said, learning or watching other brands. Like I said, reading that book, and I just find them all so inspiring. A lot of their stories and like other entrepreneurs. But we try to stay kind of carve our own little unique.
You got your own thing.
Piece of the pie.
Well, and it's unique, and you keep seeing why it's such a cool product because, waders, the other thing about waders is although Patagonia does a great job of fixing waders, I think I've heard stories of them fixing waders until, forever. So like you almost don't need to buy a new pair, but waders wear out. That's the thing. They get holes and then eventually you need to, your things will wear out too, but it's not that big of a deal. Like you could wear your waders, I'm sure, for like years, right? Years and years.
Yeah, it depends. Guys like having two pairs or one pairs. But yeah, like you said, if there's a hole, like not like waders. Like waders are always going to have a thing in the industry, like in the winter especially. Like they're always like they're not going anywhere.
No, and if you're out there on a winter trip, maybe it's a destination, and all of a sudden you got leaky waders, you're hating it.
You're hating life.
That's a rough time. Yeah. So, it's tough because, do you bring two pairs of waders or, what do you do? But, you just got to find that brand, that you love, and kind of stay with it. But, this has been good, Kelly. What else do we want to, before we get out of here, do we want to make sure people know about Backcountry Skinz or what you guys have going?
Yeah, man, we're going to keep innovating and making new products and carving our own, like I said, way into the industry, and just keep, like any feedback that anyone ever has, like on our products, we always love hearing that, to keep, they have all sorts of ideas guys think of that we don't even think of. It just two brothers, two minds. So any feedback on the skins, or if you're like, have any questions or anything like that, just to always reach out. It's always just my brother and I getting back to people. It's pretty one-on-one, so which we take pride in because we're really passionate about this whole thing. So
yeah, awesome, man. Well, good to hear that things are going well, and I think definitely we'll keep in touch, and I've got to get I've got to get into some new Backcountry Skinz. I think, like I said, Megan is just loving them. She's
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like totally loving them. And I think the neoprene booties too, or something. Can't remember the ones I've been wearing lately, what brand they've been, but they're good. Although again, stuff breaks down. I just noticed I was pulling up my booties. They're not your guys. They're another brand. And I noticed like right in the seam, it's like, oh, it's starting to split. You can see the hole starting. I'm like, okay, these things aren't going to last that long. And I'm going to probably have to get a new pair. So yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all the good stuff you guys have going, and we'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. If you want to check in with Kelly, go over to Backcountry Skinz. That's skinswithaz.com if you want to check out all their great gear. If you want to connect more with us, if you want to find out more about the trip, it sounds like bull trout might be in the menu. Not on the menu, might be a trip we have coming here. Check in with me, go to wetflyswing.com/pro. If you sign up for pro, that's your best chance to start putting some of these trips together with us. Also want to give you a heads up, we talked about BC, which is where Kelly lives now. We are doing the Skeena Bay Lodge giveaway right now. The giveaway's over, but we are still looking to fill a spot for the trip. You can go to right now, just send me an email, dave@wetflyswing.com. Let me know if you're interested in booking one of the last spots there for the Skeena Bay Lodge. I know we had some big fish caught last year, because I'm looking at the pictures right now. So get in now while we still have some spots available. That's all I have for you today. Hope you have a great morning. Hope you're having an amazing afternoon. And if it's evening, I'm not sure what you're up to. Hopefully you're out there traveling or getting ready for the next trip. I know I'm sitting here picking up some lines from Waters West Fly Shop right now, getting ready to do our own trip. And I'm excited, looking to get a new reel as well. I'm probably going to hopefully get another lamps and reel coming in here very soon. So check in with me if you have any gear needs, trip needs, anything else. But I appreciate you and appreciate you for stopping in all the way till the very end. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show. For notes and links from this episode, visit wetflyswing.com.